Hey everyone, welcome to The Explainer. I am absolutely thrilled you're joining me today because, let's be honest, we're tackling something that gives almost every single project manager a massive headache at some point. Today, it is all about mastering Microsoft Project's resource assignments and, maybe even more importantly, troubleshooting those totally catastrophic schedule errors that just seem to pop out of thin air. If you've ever watched your project timeline practically explode on screen and had literally no idea why, well, this explainer is built specifically for you.
Let's just dive right in with a pretty stark reminder from our source material. Your boss is not going to wait for you to correct the schedule. He is immediately going to ask for the schedule. I mean, that hits the nail on the head, right? That's the real-world pressure we're dealing with here. When you're managing a massive construction project, you really don't have the luxury of fumbling around with basic software settings while the clock is ticking. Getting your foundational settings right the very first time isn't just a best practice. It is literally a matter of professional survival.
All right, so here is our game plan for today. We're going to start with resource loading basics, then look at how to avoid the fixed effort trap and how to fix a duration explosion. After that, we'll dive into the calendar mismatch, cover those essential baseline settings, and then wrap it all up with a little something called Experience Beyond the Manual.
Okay, kicking things off with Section 1, the resource loading basics.
So picture a standard site task like clearing and grubbing. To initiate resource loading for this activity, you simply select it, right-click, and open the task information box. Or, you can just double-click the activity, whichever is faster for you. And data entry here can be lightning fast if you know a few tricks. As you're populating your resources table, say labor, helper, supervisor, a JCB, maybe a dumper, you can just type the first letter of the resource, like J for JCB or D for dumper, and the software instantly pulls it up. Then boom, just punch in your quantities per day and you're good to go.
Now, this brilliantly illustrates some hidden math operating just beneath the surface of the software. Let's say you've got an assortment of laborers and dumpers working over a 5-day duration, and that adds up to a total required effort of 50 man-days. Well, Microsoft Project instantly calculates this in the background. It multiplies your daily resources by that 5-day duration, and it locks in that final number. In this case, it becomes a hard constant of 50 total man-days.
Which brings us to a completely foundational definition that you absolutely must understand. Effort, which is typically measured in man-days, is the total estimated amount of work required to complete an activity. But here is the critical part, so don't miss this. This number is totally frozen by the software the second you make your very first resource assignment. The software equates this effort to the actual physical quantity of work on the ground. Basically, it assumes that if you need 50 man-days to clear the site today, you will always need 50 man-days to clear that site, no matter how you tweak your crew size later on.
Which leads us perfectly into Section 2, the fixed effort trap and how to stay out of it.
Listen, once that baseline of 50 man-days is locked in, so many users walk straight into a huge trap when they try to make corrections. Let's say you realize you entered way too many helpers. Your first instinct is probably to just delete them directly from the task information box, right? Do not do that. That is absolutely the wrong way to handle it. If you do, the software will completely skyrocket your task duration to compensate and keep those 50 man-days intact. The right way, you got to use the dedicated Assign Resources window instead. In there, you can safely uncheck and remove the load without accidentally blowing up your entire timeline.
But hey, mistakes happen. So let's talk about Section 3, fixing the duration explosion.
What actually happens when things do get destroyed? Take this terrifying real-time cautionary tale of a schedule that just went completely off the rails. It starts innocently enough with a simple question mark in the project duration. But then, after checking the linking, suddenly the duration jumps up to 55 days. Wait, it gets worse. Because there are missing task durations, it quickly balloons to 93 days. And then, the ultimate disaster strikes. Just a few more minor tweaks and the project explodes into this massive, weirdly fractional 124.75 days. I mean, when your schedule suddenly spits out a number like 124.75 days, pure panic sets in, for sure.
Okay, deep breath. To stop the panic, you need to run through a series of rapid diagnostic checks. Think of this as your emergency troubleshooting checklist. First up, are all your activities actually linked correctly with their predecessors? Second, are durations physically entered for every single task, or did you accidentally leave some blank? Third, go up to the Format menu and make sure the Project Summary task box is checked so you can actually see the top-level data. And finally, double-check your absolute project start and finish dates.
Now, if you check all that and it's still broken,
we're probably looking at Section 4, the calendar mismatch.
Yeah, even after running that entire checklist, you might still see bizarre fractional durations. And why is that? Well, it almost always comes down to the standard calendar trap. By default, MS Project just assumes you're on a cushy Monday through Friday corporate schedule. So if you're building out a demanding 6-day work week for a construction site, but you leave the software on that default calendar, it completely clashes with reality. The software starts calculating non-working days as working days, and it just totally scrambles your schedule.
So how do we fix it? That brings us to Section 5, Essential Baseline Settings.
Getting out of this trap means you have to deliberately align the software's brain with the reality of your job site. Here is the exact click path you need to take. Step 1, go up to the project menu and click Change Working Time. Step 2, select your custom project calendar and meticulously verify that the working days are set from Monday to Saturday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., and make sure Sunday is explicitly marked as non-working. Step 3, you've got to click on project options from that exact same window and ensure your default start and end times perfectly match the schedule you just set up.
And seriously, guys, you absolutely cannot skip these specific numerical inputs in the options menu. Let's do the math real quick. If you are working 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. without a break, that is 9 hours per day. Multiply that out, and a 6-day week equals 54 hours per week. A typical month for this schedule will have 26 working days. Furthermore, you need to ensure that both work is entered in and duration is entered in are set to days. If you miss even one of these settings, the software is going to miscalculate every single duration you input.
Oh, and I have to share this massive pro tip with you. Go into your General tab and change your date format to actually include the time of day, like 9 a.m. When you can literally see the hours and minutes attached to your start and finish dates, those hidden fractional day errors we talked about, they become immediately obvious, way before they have a chance to ruin your entire timeline.
Which brings us to our final part today, Section 6, Experience Beyond the Manual.
You might be wondering, why are we spending so much time obsessing over these highly specific foundational settings? Well, because of this absolute truth from our source. These things are nowhere written in any notebook or reference guides. These come with experience only. You are simply not going to find this standard calendar trap explained in some basic software manual. These are hard-won survival tactics from folks who've been in the trenches.
Because here is the harsh reality, the ultimate penalty for a sloppy setup. If you go ahead and schedule all your activities before fixing that calendar, all your further automation is ruined. Once you finally realize the mistake and fix the calendar, you're going to have to go all the way back and manually retype the duration of every single activity all over again. Automation is amazing, but it only works if the baseline rules are correct from day one.
So, as you go back to open up your own schedules today, I want to leave you with this question to ponder. Is your software actually automating your success, or is it just speeding up your mistakes? Take the time to master these foundational resource and calendar settings and make sure your tools are actually working for you, not against you. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and seriously, I highly encourage you to go double-check those baseline settings right now.
If you want to master Microsoft Project with practical construction examples, join the online professional certificate course of AweNics. Learn from industry experts and build job-ready planning skills. Limited seats available. Join now.